Welcome to Lesson 10, Working with Symbols. In this video, I'm going to give you an introduction to how to work with symbols and the symbolism tools in Adobe Illustrator Creative Cloud. First of all, I have the file open that's named AI 1001, which you can open as well. I'm not going to follow the book lesson exactly, but throw in some tips and tricks that will help you along the way. First of all, I have two logos open, and I want to use one of these on a regular basis. So I'm going to turn it into a symbol. First of all, I'm going to Window, Symbols. And you'll notice that you get some symbols that maybe you won't use all the time, but who knows, maybe you want a search button and you can click and drag this out. And you'll notice that when I make a symbol instance out on my artboard, that I can also take my shift key and scale it up. And so I can have many instances of this artwork. I can even go to the panel menu, select Open Symbol Library, and select a whole bunch of other ones, including one called Nature. You can also access the libraries by clicking on the little book icon in the lower left of the menu as well. Now I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these guys, so I'm taking my selection tool and just clicking and dragging to select them all and get rid of them. I'm also closing those additional symbol libraries and then dragging symbols out so you can see it a little bit better. I've got this logo I want to reuse. To make it a symbol, I simply click and drag and drop it into the Symbols panel. In here, I'm going to call this Fly Away Logo and just leave everything at the defaults and click OK. Once something's a symbol, I can drag it out as many times as I want. And again, as I showed you earlier, resize it, rotate it, do what I want with it. But I can't edit it because it's been built into a symbol. Not just yet. You'll see that if I take my direct selection tool and I click on here, I can't really access the fill and the stroke of this item. In fact, if I go to Window Appearance, you'll see that it just says it's a symbol. Now, in order to change this, I'm going to go ahead, take this item, we'll take this guy down here since he's not rotated. I'm going to make him a little bigger, and I'm going to select that I want to expand this item. When I expand it, I can now click OK and work on different parts of this logo. I'm also going to go up to Object and ungroup it. And I'm dragging the Appearance panel over so you can see it a little better. Now, I did not use my original symbol. I used the one that I had scaled a little bit. So you might see different values in here than what you see in the book. But I'm selecting the smaller of the two strokes. And you'll see that I can click on the color, click on the arrow, and select that I want that smaller stroke to be yellow. So I've changed my logo. Now what if I want to update all instances that are on my artboard? I can simply hold down my Option or Alt key and drag one symbol on top of another to replace them. Or what I could also do, of course, is press Command Z and simply drag it up, drop it in Symbols, and create a new one that's called Fly Away Yellow Logo and click OK. So let's do more with this illustration. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of all these other items on this page and just drag my Fly Away symbol out, make it a little bigger by holding the Shift key and grabbing the corner. And then I'm going to my Symbols panel and I'm selecting Open Symbol Library and I'm selecting just Nature again. And I'm going to grab one of these butterflies and click and drag it out. Now I can of course rotate and scale all of these butterflies, and I've indicated that before, but I can also use the symbolism tools to easily apply these as well. So you'll notice that on your toolbar you have what are called symbol sprayer tools. And if I click on this first tool and I have a symbol selected, I can click and drag to spray butterflies. And of course, you'll notice that I do have a cursor here indicating the size of it spraying. I can press the left bracket that's to the right of the letter P to make that selection area a little bit smaller or tighter, or press the right bracket to make that selection area much wider. Now, once I've done that, I can also go to additional tools. There's something called the Symbol Shifter tool, which allows me to shift these around. And again, I can adjust the size so that I can select a lesser amount of butterflies by pressing that left bracket. I can also scrunch these together. Now keep in mind that I'm not holding any modifier key down when I'm scrunching. But if I hold Option or Alt key and scrunch, it goes the opposite. And that works that way with most of the symbolism tools. Like for instance, the sizer tool. If I click, 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 I make that larger. If I hold down my Option or Alt key and click somewhere else, I make them smaller. You'll also see that I have a spinner tool to start spinning these around. All kinds of great fun things that you can do with your artwork. A stainer that will take the color that you have and apply it. Or you can, of course, hold down your Option or Alt key and back it out. Now it's selecting black because I don't have a fill color selected. But if I click on the fill and change the color, you'll notice that I can now stain with any color that I like. I also can screen. So I can screen back or change the opacity of these items as well. And then the last one would be to apply styles. So if I had graphic styles, I could apply them all at once to my symbols as well. Now I'm just going to take these symbol instances and I'm going to send my butterflies to the back so that I can have my logo in front. So in this lesson, you learned how to work with symbols and the symbol tools.